Hey, what's up guys? Gemini, and today I'm going to be doing the WrestleMania 4 Ultimate Review. Now this is going to be awesome. WrestleMania 4, it's March, it's 1988. We don't have a WWF champion because of the controversy with the $1 Million Man trying to buy the title off of Hogan. Jack Tunney didn't like that. So, what does the WWF decide to do? Run a 16-man elimination tournament. March 1988, Atlantic City, the bright lights, the big city, and we have a 16-man elimination tournament right here at WrestleMania 4. So today we're going to take a look at the entire tournament. This is the WrestleMania 4 Ultimate Review. Okay, taking a look at the tournament bracket. It's a 16-man elimination tournament, and it's going to start in the first round with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and he's going to face Ted DiBiase. Hogan and Andre already have a bye in the second round. Second match, Dino Bravo versus Don Morocco. Third match, you got Greg the Hammer Valentine, former Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, versus Ricky Steamboat, former WWF NWA Champion and Intercontinental Champion. This is 1988, so Steamboat was coming off a big year in '87 at WrestleMania with this match with Savage. Okay, the next match you have the long shot, Randy Macho Man Savage, who had some Intercontinental Championship experience but hadn't really established the dominance yet, and he's going to face Hacksaw Butch Reed, a big, fierce competitor managed by Slick. Next match, you're going to go to the Battle of the Big Men. You got Bam Bam Bigelow versus One Man Gang. And in the last match, Ravishing Rick Rude, Robbinsdale, Minnesota, 235 pounds versus the deadly Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, before we start the first match, we should take a look at a little bit of the history between Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, before we get to the first match. Okay, so you got the first match of the tournament. You got Ted DiBiase and Hacksaw Jim Duggan kicking the tournament off. Now, these two were possibly looking at wrestling Hogan and Andre, who already had a bye in the second round. So how'd you like to go out in Atlantic City in front of 17,000 people and know that if you beat the other opponent, you were going to get to face Andre the Giant, 7'5", 500 pounds, or Hulk Hogan, the WWF champion, coming off of 4 years at that point. So, DiBiase and Hacksaw, no strangers to each other. They were part of the Rat Pack in Mid-South Wrestling, so they knew each other. So going into this match, there was a lot at stake. You know, you want to start the show off well. Even though they had a battle royal, this was the first match of the 16-man tournament. So Hacksaw and DiBiase, you know, like I said, part of the Rat Pack, legends of Mid-South, so they knew each other. So anyways, they're going at it with all this on the line. They're going back and forth, and DiBiase brings out Andre the Giant out there with him, and so you kind of knew Hacksaw was in trouble. So anyways, the match goes, Hacksaw's going for his finishing move. Andre trips him, and then all of a sudden Duggan goes out to attack Andre. Dumb. And then Andre just, boom, knocks him out. Next thing you know, DiBiase gets the win. So DiBiase advances in round one, and now he's looking at a possible second round versus Hogan and Andre. So who knows what's going to happen. But this was the first match, and Ted DiBiase won in the first match of the WrestleMania tournament. Okay, so the first round goes to Ted DiBiase, who defeats Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Okay, in the second match, we're looking at Battle of the Big Ben. We got Canada's strongest man, Dino Bravo, and he's going to face former Intercontinental Champion Don Morocco. So let's talk about the match before it starts up. Okay, those of you not really familiar with Dino Bravo, he's getting ready to fight Don Morocco here in the tournament. Those of you not familiar with Dino Bravo was big dude. He was the Canadian heavyweight champion for a long time. Dino Bravo's been dead for a long time. You know, eventually murdered by the Canadian Mafia and stuff because, you know, he was involved in a cigarette smuggling operation. But Dino Bravo was a big boy, and in this particular match, he was getting ready to face Hall of Famer Don the Rock Morocco. managed by superstar Billy Graham. And Dino Bravo had Frenchie Martin. You know, USA is not okay out there with him. And so they're going at it. And then all of a sudden, Bravo gets himself DQ'd in the match. He pulled the referee, you know, his shirt and stuff. So anyways, Don Morocco wound up winning by disqualification. So actually, you know what? Yeah, so now we're looking at Ted DiBiase and Don Morocco. And, excuse me, Hogan and Andre actually had a bye to fight each other in the second round. So the winner of Ted DiBiase and Don Morocco would face Hogan and Andre possibly in the quarterfinals. So Ted and Don Morocco would advance to fight the winner of Hogan and Andre, which was the second round match. So now we have Ted DiBiase and Don Morocco in the second round. Okay, looking at the board so far, you know, you got Andre and Hogan. You got Andre and Hogan in the second round. And then you got Ted DiBiase and Don Morocco, who have won their matches so far. So this is your second round so far. Hogan, Andre, Ted DiBiase, and Don Morocco. Now the next match we're looking at in the first round is one of the sleeper matches in the tournament. Greg the Hammer Valentine, Seattle, Washington, master of the figure four leg lock, and he was going to face the technician, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So let's talk about this match here in just a second. Okay, so now we're on to the next match. We got Greg the Hammer Valentine, one of the best technicians in the WWF. A lot of times with Greg the Hammer Valentine, Gorilla Monsoon used to say that the Hammer didn't get warmed up till 15 minutes. The Hammer had been around forever. He had wrestled all over the world, former Intercontinental Champion, and he was getting ready to face a real tough opponent. And all the experts were picking Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to win this tournament. All the Las Vegas odds all had Steamboat winning the tournament. So Steamboat was a heavy favorite going into this match, even though the Hammer had extensive experience. And to me, you never wanted to discount the Hammer. He was always one of those guys that would go really long in the Royal Rumble. And the Hammer was just tough. And he hit you hard. He was the Hammer indeed. So anyways, this match goes back and forth. And the Hammer winds up getting the win, which is a big surprise. But it's kind of crazy because if you watch this match, you can actually see Ricky Steamboat's little dragon, you know, who's his son, who just got let go. But the WrestleMania 4 tournament, this was probably the best wrestling match of the first round to watch. The Hammer, managed by Jimmy Hart, Mouth of the South, versus the Dragon. And this is 1988, so Steamboat had come off a big year in 87 where he was the Intercontinental Champion. But the Hammer got the nod in this match. Okay, so the Hammer got the nod over Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and I'd call it, some people would say it's an upset because a lot of people expected Steamboat to win the match. Okay, moving forward, next match in the first round, Hacksaw Butch Reed versus Randy Macho Man Savage. So let's talk about this, and we'll go from there. Okay, Hacksaw Butch Reed, you know, they call him the natural Butch Reed in the WWF, and a lot of people might not be familiar with Butch Reed. He was one half of Doom with Ron Simmons in WCW. He was a big, strong guy from Kansas City, Missouri. And this particular match, he was going to face, you know, somebody who was good. I mean, Savage, who was great, but hadn't quite hit that mega stardom yet. Savage had kind of been on the Intercontinental scene at this point in '88. You know, Intercontinental Champion and feuding with, he was a heel. You know, he went in this event as a babyface. But Savage was Intercontinental Champion, feuding with George the Animal Steel and Tito Santana and the other good guys. Savage was a long shot in the tournament. Savage was a long shot. I don't think anyone really expected Randy Savage to do what he did on this night. But anyways, Savage comes out there with Elizabeth. Elizabeth was looking just stunning. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, drop dead gorgeous. And in 1988 would turn into the year of Randy Savage. This was the launching pad. Savage won this match with a beautiful flying elbow drop. So Savage now is looking at meeting the winner of Bam Bam Bigelow and the One Man Gang, which was the next match in the tournament. Okay, so you have Hacksaw Butch Reed, the natural Butch Reed. He just lost to Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth Elizabeth was just so sexy, unbelievably sexy on that night. And they're looking at fighting the winner of Bam Bam Bigelow and the One Man Gang. So let's talk about this match for just a second. Okay, so we're looking at One Man Gang and Bam Bam Bigelow, or as Jesse Ventura would call these two, the Ugly Twins. This was not, it was not a very good match, to be honest. It was really sloppy. When the One Man Gang and Bam Bam would wrestle, they just didn't have good, chemistry with each other. So it was real sloppy. And One Man Gang wound up winning this match. He had Slick out there with a count out. The ref, for some reason, this match counted like really super fast. So Bam Bam got counted out, and the One Man Gang went over. So we're looking at the gang advancing in the tournament. So let's get to the next match. Okay, the next match in the tournament, we're looking at Ravishing Rick Rude and Jake the Snake Roberts, one of the deadliest superstars in the history of the WWF. Okay, now going into this tournament, people had to consider Jake the Snake and Ravishing Rick Rude long shots, but wouldn't be surprised if either one of them won the world title. So, Ravishing Rick Rude, managed by Bobby Heenan, is going at it with Jake. The match gets like maybe about 8, 9, 10 minutes in, and there's not really a winner yet. And they keep going and going and doing a lot of headlocks and wrist locks and stuff. So, anyways, both of them go 15 minutes of on the mat wrestling. Not the most exciting match. The fans have seen 6, 7, 8 matches at this point, so they're getting a little bored, and they know it, but they're going to get their money's worth in a minute because Hogan and Andre are going to come out next. So anyways, this is nobody wins this match. It's a double it's like a time limit draw. So anyways, because of the fact that nobody won this match, the One Man Gang automatically received a bye to the quarterfinals. So One Man Gang is in the third round already, and he's going to meet the winner of Hammer and Savage. So let's take a look at the second round. So just to recap the first round action. Okay, so Ted DiBiase went over on Hacksaw, Morocco went over on Bravo, Hammer went over on Steamboat, Savage went over on Butch Reed, Gang went over on Bam Bam, and Rude and Roberts time limit draw. So, advancing to the second round. First match of the second round, we're looking at the big boy. Probably this match alone could have main evented WrestleMania 4 by itself. Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, the rematch from WrestleMania 3 where they sold out 95,000 people in the Silverdome. So let's talk about this match. Okay, so you're looking at Hogan and Andre. Obviously, if you guys can't tell, Hogan was the heavy favorite to win this match, win the tournament and win the belt again. When I watched this for the first time, I thought Hogan was going to beat Andre and go on and win the WWF belt that day. But it actually didn't go down that way, believe it or not. These two, there's a lot of interference. Ted DiBiase and Virgil, and just a lot of interference in this match. So Hogan and Andre actually wind up getting themselves both double disqualified. And so you're looking at it and you're like, whoa, you can't believe that Hogan and Andre, the two heavy favorites, are out of the tournament. What this means, the big thing is, what this means is the next match in the tournament between Ted DiBiase and Don Morocco, because Hogan and Andre both got double disqualified, receives an automatic bye to the finals of the tournament. So Ted DiBiase and Don Morocco are about to have a very important match because the winner was going to get a bye to the finals of the tournament. Okay, so now you go to the next match. You're looking at Ted DiBiase and The Rock Don Morocco, managed by superstar Billy Graham. Okay, winner goes automatically to the finals because these two got disqualified, to everyone's shock. Now, going into this match, DiBiase was down. I mean, he was hurt. He had gotten beat up in the Hogan match. Virgil was down. Andre wasn't out there. So Ted DiBiase was on his own to fight the Rock Don Morocco. This match right here will always be the match that impressed me the most about Ted DiBiase, because in this particular match, the guy didn't have his cheaters out there. He didn't have Virgil. He didn't have any interference. And Morocco's given DiBiase a beating. You don't really expect Ted DiBiase to come back, but this shows how tough Ted DiBiase was in this tournament, because he winds up slingshotting Morocco on the ropes, winning and getting himself advancing right to the finals of the tournament. So you're pretty much shocked, because DiBiase is really on a roll in the tournament, and he did this with just wrestling and skill. So Ted DiBiase on his way to the finals of the WrestleMania 4 Championship Tournament. Okay, so Ted DiBiase just punched his way into the finals, but now you're looking at a hard-hitting, physical match between two old-school wrestlers. Next match in the second round, Greg the Hammer Valentine and Randy Macho Man Savage. And this is Savage's second match and the Hammer's second match. Okay, so the Hammer and Savage are going to have a go at it in the second round. Very physical match. Valentine really gives Savage a beating in this match. I mean, Savage is really getting his ass kicked. Finally, at the end, Savage rolls him up. He actually reverses the figure 4 leg lock and got the pin. So Savage now has won 2 matches. Now Savage is looking at, Savage is looking at meeting the winner. Actually, the one-man gang was given a bye because of Rudes and Roberts. So Savage is looking at meeting the one-man gang in the quarterfinals. Now the winner of Savage and one-man gang gets to meet Ted DiBiase in the finals. So let's talk about Savage and the one-man gang. Okay, by this point in the tournament, Ted DiBiase is already in the finals, getting ready to wrestle for the world title. Now Savage, having 2 matches already, very hard-hitting physical match versus the Hammer, and a very hard-hitting match versus the National Butch Reed. Now Savage, odds just against Randy Macho Man Savage. I mean, he's got to face 450-pound one-man gang. He's in trouble. This is his 3rd match. Gang is rested. Gang didn't have a second-round match. Gang's already in the quarterfinals because of the bye between Rude and Robert. So the Gang's rested. So let's talk about what happened between Savage and one-man gang in the quarterfinals. Okay, so you got one-man gang and Randy Savage. Now, nobody's really sure if Savage is going to be able to overcome the odds and beat the one-man gang. I mean, one-man gang outweighed him by 200 pounds. Savage was tired. He had just gotten beat up by the Hammer. Him and Elizabeth come out, and they make it to the ring. But, man, the one-man gang is just giving Savage a beating. I mean, he's working Savage over. And one-man gang, a little bit later on in the match, winds up getting himself DQ'd. So Savage wins. Somehow, someway, Savage wins this match. And now you're looking at the finals of all finals. Savage and DiBiase for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship belt. The most prestigious title in all sports. And the belt meant a lot at the time, because Hulk Hogan had held this belt for 4 years. And there was going to be a new champion. It was either going to be Ted DiBiase or Randy Macho Man Savage. Okay, finals are set. Ted DiBiase, accompanied by Andre the Giant, versus Randy Macho Man Savage for the WWF Heavyweight Championship belt. Okay, so at the time, they had just introduced the new Winged Eagle Heavyweight Championship belt right before the match. Robin Leach brought it out. Donald Trump was sitting there. It was Atlantic City. It was the main event of WrestleMania. It was Ted DiBiase. It was Randy Savage, who had won 3 matches. And Savage and Ted DiBiase start having to go at it. And Savage is tired. Savage had been getting his ass kicked all night long. 3 guys had just beat the shit out of Savage. Savage and Liz come out. Savage is getting beat down. Savage is in trouble because Andre's out there. Andre's interfering. Nobody's quite sure what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden you see Hulk Hogan come down. And Hogan backs Savage up, which eventually led the formation of the Mega Powers. So anyways, Savage somehow beat DiBiase in this match and won the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship belt. One of the best moments in WWF history. Macho had Elizabeth up on his shoulder. He had the world title on the other shoulder. Macho was as high as you could get in professional wrestling. He was on top. They did not get any higher than Macho Man having the belt, having the girl, Hulkster right by his side. I mean, Macho was on top of the world. There was nothing that the man could not do on that night. 4 matches. Savage won 4 times in one night. It was one of the most impressive, gutty performances I had ever seen. And I think WrestleMania 4 will always be remembered as the night of the Macho Man winning the World Wrestling Federation belt. And there was other matches too at WrestleMania 4. You had a Battle Royal. Bad News Brown won it. Him and Bret Hart got into it. I mean, you had Demolition won the tag team belts. There was a 6-man tag with the Islanders and the Bulldogs and Honky Tonk Man and Brutus had an Intercontinental match. But the main draw, the last image you'll ever see WrestleMania 4 was Savage holding that belt up. Just phenomenal. The WrestleMania 4 tournament was phenomenal. One of the best tournaments to me in wrestling history. And I'd like to thank you for watching this. And I'm Gemini and hope you enjoyed the Ultimate WrestleMania 4 review. Peace.